There are so many video games over the years that we hold near and dear to our heart. Going back to them, however, is always a crapshoot. Some have aged like fine wine, while others have aged like milk. Today, we will take a look at 5 PC games from the 90s that have aged gracefully. Please note that these are not the top 5 games, but are 5 games I have decided to put on this list in no particular order. In addition, I'll do my best to add the Steam and Good Old Game links to the games mentioned. Without further ado, let's get started.
Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri.
No one is more synonymous with 4X gaming than Sid Meier with his Civilization series that is still going strong today with no signs of slowing down. While I haven't been into 4X gaming like I used to back in the day, Alpha Centauri is still infinitely replayable for me. The premise in this one is that Earth has sent a colonizing mission to Alpha Centauri. You take control of one of 7 factions, or 14 with the Alien Crossfire expansion pack. Depending on the victory path you want to choose, and there are several, you have many tools at your disposal for doing so in the form of diplomacy, military might, economic prowess, technology, espionage, and much more. There are so many options when it comes to customization. You can set a variety of rules to play with, the factions participating, custom scenarios, custom maps, and even custom units. Seriously, this was a huge appeal for me, as coming up with the most powerful units with a variety of weapons, armor, and abilities made for some very unique and awesome possibilities. I also just love the personalities of these characters, as each has their own philosophies on how to deal with various issues. Some can be beneficial to you, while others may be in stark contrast to your goals and ideologies. It also doesn't end there, as there are actual story bits throughout the game. It really does feel like a living, breathing world, something many 4X games fail to do. There's honestly just so much to talk about, and maybe I can do a full review on this one day, but for now, I recommend for you to pick it up, especially if you're a fan of 4X gaming.
Quake 3 Arena.
I reviewed Quake 3 a few years ago and enjoyed it immensely. The fast-paced carnage of it all is a ton of fun, especially when turning your enemy into these chunky 90s gory bits. When it comes to arena shooters, Quake 3 has some of the most memorable maps of all time. The variety of maps included are very diverse with their own set of themes. Some maps have a space opera feel to them, others a gothic horror vibe, and even some that try to mix up the two. I personally enjoy the pick up and play feel of it. Many of the modes are straight and simple to the point, whether that'll be a deathmatch or capture the flag. You can also just play with bots, which I often do, as the AI can be a challenge, especially on higher difficulty levels. Obviously, the appeal is with playing with people online, which you can still do as well. Even with later iterations, it still has a dedicated community to it. Simply put, it's a blast to play, both literally and figuratively.
Unreal Tournament.
If I mentioned Quake 3 Arena, I could not exclude its competitor Unreal Tournament by law. While both games are arena shooters through and through, Unreal Tournament has its own unique feel. This unique feel is most felt in its gunplay. All of the obtainable weapons have alternate fire modes, which are very useful in certain situations. This gives the player more options to play with, making the game feel far more tactical than Quake 3. This feeling is also represented in the armor system, as it only protects certain parts of your body depending on what kind of item you pick up. There are also a ton of modes here, far more than Quake 3 Arena, and one of the most iconic being the Assault mode. The debate on Quake 3 versus Unreal Tournament is a debate as old as time itself. Whichever one you end up getting, make sure to get a few friends to play this with, or team up with a few randoms. Either way, you can't go wrong.
Lords of Magic.
I actually played this game for the first time this year and was absolutely blown away by what is offered here. Out of all the Sierra games made from the 90s, this one is often forgotten. To be fair, the reception at the time was positive, but not overwhelmingly so. Still, it deserved far more praise than it has received. When you start a game, you can pick either a warrior, mage, or thief. Then, you can choose one of 8 factions: Earth, Fire, Air, Water, Order, Chaos, Life, and Death. If you are the Death faction, your goal is to destroy all other factions. If you are the other factions, your ultimate goal is to defeat Balkoth, the Lord of Death, although you can continue to play even after. It's a great blend of games that I have played over the years. You move your armies similar to Heroes of Might and Magic, recruit various fantasy units, and duke it out in real-time battles. It also features a magic system, which is just awesome to use and explore, hence the name of the game. There's even diplomacy, where you can trade units, trade resources, learn some spells, trade artifacts, etc, etc. It can definitely be daunting at first figuring out how to approach it, but once you get past the early game hurdle, total, you've opened yourself to an amazing and rewarding experience. What ultimately kept me playing was just the world and charm of it all. There's just something about this universe that I really wish was explored more in a sequel. Every faction feels so unique to play as, and the music is a great complement for it. You can also get this for very cheap at both Good Old Games and Steam, and as mentioned before, I will post some of the links in the description below.
Moto Racer.
Some video games encapsulate the 90s like no other, and Moto Racer is one of these elite in that regard. It's an arcade racing game where you drive either motorbikes and dirt bikes. Just the game concept alone is a relic from the 90s where racing games were simple and straight to the point. Being an arcade racer, the sense of speed is incredible. The controls are also very responsive and it feels good driving. While it is an arcade racer, there still is an element of strategy to the game. In order to get a speed boost, you can pull off wheelies to do so. This makes no sense when any logic is introduced, but that's just how 90s this game is. Logic is not required. What I also love about this game are the colors. The colors in the environments are incredibly vivid and absolutely gorgeous. It also helps that the music is pretty rad, as these 90 kids used to say. Overall, it's just a very upbeat and positive game to play. So those are 5 awesome PC games from the 90s still worth playing today. Let me know down below if you've enjoyed this video and want to see more games of this time period, or I can try another time period like the 2000s or the 2010s. Whatever you guys want, let me know in the comments below as always. I'll be sure to read them, let you know what I think. Please like, share, and subscribe. Really want to hear what you guys think as well, so you hear what I think and what you think. That's how it works here. Anyways, gonna wrap this up because I'm just rambling now. Thank you for watching, and this is Powerhouse, signing off.